Are there too many women in Marvel and DC shows today? Yes, definitely. I'd say so. I just started thinking about this when I was watching this the Defenders Comic Con uh, panel, and it was there were 8 actors there, and only 3 were male men. So that kind of started me thinking, why is it like that? I mean, it's really quite extreme if you look at these shows like Jessica Jones, for instance. It's almost all main characters are women, and only there's that friend of Jessica's who is like a former drug addict, and he's, I think, the only of you know the main cast that is still in the show and has been from day one. You had David Tennant, but he only was in first season and also one episode of the second, or two perhaps. So apart from that, it's all about Jessica Jones and her adopted sister and her mother now also, and the lawyer, of course, Jerry Hogarth, and so all But okay, that show was conceived like a woman show, more or less, because the main heroine is a woman and all that. But if you look at Defenders, for instance, or Iron Fist, or even to bring up a DC show that I have watched quite a lot, Arrow. Arrow is like, about 60% of the heroes are actually women, at least. So it's only Green Arrow himself and his sidekick, and a couple of other guys who are really best forgotten, like very, very bland sidekicks. But there we have of course, Felicity, the computer expert, and then there is the Black Canary. First it was Sarah and Lance, and now it's Laurel Lance, and now Oliver's kid sister also is a hero in her own right. So there's, I think they kind of go too far in trying to, I think actually in trying to achieve the perfect balance between the sexes. They have kind of made it almost like you know uh, the balance has kind of gone out of whack. I mean, now there are almost more women, even though most of the leading, I mean, starring heroes and characters are men, like Punisher, Daredevil, Arrow, Iron Fist, and yeah, Luke Cage. But I mean, everyone else, there's always at least one very strong female character in all of them, and one of the the one of the main supporting characters are always at least one of them, or two very often, are women. In Iron Fist you got that woman, what's her name, I don't remember, that Asian chick, and in Daredevil it's the lawyer woman, or actually I forgot her name, the blonde, played by Deborah Ann Woll, and it's also Elektra has been in that show, of course. And in Punisher you had also this agent Madani, I believe that's her name. She was like the main. She she represented the law, actually, the good side of the law. So you don't really have a single show that's a spin-off of a Marvel or DC comic book that is, you know, uh, primarily like, a male or a male dominated show. But like, you have to wonder what's happened, because until just a few years ago this was all, these comic books were mainly read by, male, by men and boys. It was never really a girl thing to be a big fan of this sort of comics. It was more perhaps manga and all that stuff that was a bit more like, unisex. But this stuff was never really that, no. Always strictly a man's thing, or a boy's thing, if you want. So, I think it's kind of silly, and it's a little bit, daft that they have created so many shows where, men are not really in a majority among the main cast, the heroes or the villains even. Perhaps more on the villain side, but so yeah, I just kind of wonder. I must say I'm not a fan of that, because there have been several shows before also where women were, you know, it was almost like Birds of Prey. It was almost an all woman show, like, and men were just kind of side characters, either villains or boyfriends of the main characters and that stuff. So I think it's about time we get, like, a true, like, show without all these, you know strong female characters, like. But the problem is that they make them too strong. I mean, it becomes a little bit over the top sometimes, because not every woman in in a story or a comic book is like a very, very strong character, like. So these damsels in distress don't even exist anymore, I'd say. I mean, except for maybe Felicity from Arrow. She's not like a very strong person physically. She's more like, but she's got her brain anyway. So yeah, I mean, of course, many of these shows are not really made properly, and Iron Fist, I think, was pretty weak, and the Defenders, of course, and all these got Luke Cage. They all got some flaws. Even Daredevil, and now it's getting cancelled. I must say, sometimes while I was watching Daredevil, I just kind of started boring myself. I didn't know why, because I thought it was such a great idea to make a show about Daredevil, but it's been kind of watered down by too much drama. I think too much of this melodrama and too many female characters, like, turning it into a melodrama and not, an action show, a crime show, whatever. So, I think these producers and writers, they are a bit too big-headed and ambitious. They are trying to make too much at once, of these shows. They should just stick to making a true comic book action superhero show and leave it there. Like, it's not drama. If you want drama, you go watch like you know, Peaky Blinders or what's that, Boardwalk Empire, all that stuff. That's more like crime drama, but this is not supposed to be drama really so much. Most of these shows anyway. So yeah, I'm not really kind of very satisfied where this is going, or in general, with these movies and TV shows. It's too much feminism, I think, there. It's not really healthy for this kind of genre, I think. Yeah.